How many of you spend time looking for things or putting something away in your sewing room, quilting room, craft room, whatever it may be, and discover something you totally forgot you had, or wondering, why is that there? Or when you do discover it, think, well, what was that for? Well, that's what happened to me this week. Welcome, I'm Jean, and this is my week in review. And what was it that I was doing when I discovered that surprise, shall we call it? I have a storage loft up overhead, and I was putting a couple small things that I'm not going to be using anytime soon that were kind of in my way. I'm trying to do some reorganizing out here, but I was putting that up out of the way, and I noticed a white large plastic container, one that you can't see through. I like the see-through one, so I always know what are in the things. But I thought, I wonder what's in that. I was kind of had an idea what I thought was in it, but when I lifted the lid to peek in, I discovered it wasn't what I thought it was at all. And to my surprise, I found all of these pre-cut flannel squares and all of these beautiful purples with a few pinks thrown in, all of that are for a rag quilt. I mean, looks like maybe two rag quilts, I don't know, but all of these already are stitched together with the X through the middle even, and these are the ones left to go. So what an awesome find right now at this time, because as you know, I do a lot for charity, and this month is Foster Care Awareness Month, and I need to do a couple quilts more to add to and get those delivered to and it just left me the name, My Very Own Blanket, which is what they call the charity for making quilts for foster kids. So you put a special label on that, and then that quilt always stays with that child and goes with them everywhere they go, so that they always have something to call their own and know that they are loved and cared about. So I have these that I will be able to finish up very quickly, because you know how quickly a rag quilt can go. Hey, sew those together, sew them all in the rows, clip those seams, wash it a couple times, and it's ready. Quick and easy quilt that lasts forever and is oh so cuddly. But then what else was in that box? Well, I love my Civil War era fabrics, you know, and all of this Joe Morton Civil War era fabric reproductions were in there. These are all fat quarters. These are yardage. What they were in there for, I do not know. And of course, no pattern or anything included with that. I must have just been putting some things out of the way temporarily or something, and somehow it got stored up there. But I'm not sure exactly what these are for. I'm thinking they might be ones I was using for the Joe's Little Women's Club when I was in that, and I was pulling from these for the various little quilts that were being made. So I will check into that first, but this is all awesome fabric that now needs to get included with the rest of the Joe Morton Civil War era reproduction fabrics that I have. And a great time to come across all that, because the main thing that I have been doing this week, and especially the last couple days, is completely reorganizing all my fabrics and not existing, just the projects that are out and about that I'm working on right now, because things are getting, for me, a little bit too cluttered out here, and I do not work well in clutter whatsoever. Everything needs to be organized and in its place, or I have a hard time concentrating on what I'm doing. So I have been doing some reorganizing. Oh, if you can see right behind me here, you might see those two shelves, that upper one right there, and the one right below it, that are right by my hand stitching corner. I have been going and reorganizing those to make it more handy for the stuff that I use most often when I am sitting in that chair working. So I have started that, but all those fabrics that you see, they are all going to be reorganized and moved. So that is going to take a little while, but that is what I have been working on the majority of the time this week, and it's probably going to take me at least another week to get through. But other than that, the one major item that I did get finished, started and finished, complete with label, is Stitch's dog quilt. It is all completed, it is quilted, the binding is on, and I have a temporary, just a written, you probably won't be able to even see it if I get down to where it is, and possibly I can't even find where I put it now, but it should be down in this. Oh no, it should be down in the other corner. That's why I can't find it. I'm sorry. Lost it myself. But oh, excuse me one moment. Oh, righty. Sorry about that. But temporarily, and I do this a lot, I have written some information for the label on there, and then I will be sewing a label on over that. That way, if your label should ever come off for some reason and get lost, you still have a permanent record of part of what you want on that quilt by writing it with the permanent fabric archival ink, micron pencils. So that is on there, but we will try and show you again a little more. Isn't that a beautiful backing on there? Don't you just love the backing of that quilt? I think that is so neat. And I love the binding also. It kind of takes all the colors that are in this quilt and puts them together. But that is Stitch's quilt. And of course, Whip will be getting one also. His will be the same with a different background, but that is to come yet. So look forward to seeing that live on the channel coming up here soon. And that is basically the majority of what I was able to work on stitching wise in the cottage this week. I did do a little bit more on hand items, but I'm not going to bore you with the details of that at this point. So what does that bring us to but mail call? And I have now this cute little bin that I have labeled mail call that I will be keeping that in. So each week I don't have to go around and look, okay, what was it that I got? It'll all be put in there in one place, organized and ready to go also. But I did on Danny's YouTube channel, So Not an Expert, which is she doesn't give herself enough credit for how good she really is at quilting. But I won a fat quarter from her site, and she threw in this nice chalk pencil along with that, some of her cards, a really cute little thank you note along with that, and this really beautiful fat quarter. So thank you, Danny. That is awesome that you do that on your channel. Love being the recipient of every once in a while winning something and getting something neat in the mail. But then from Amazon this week, and I do have an order coming in today, but it's not here yet, so can't share that. But you know I love Jen Kingwell as a designer and her patterns. So first of all, one of the ones that I plan on doing here in the near future is Wensleydale. And I decided that I am going to try the foundation papers for that one. So I did order, because I don't know exactly how many I'm going to need. I ordered 2 packs of that, and they are the foundation paper piecing panels for making the Wensleydale quilt. So I received those, and because I was in the Jen Kingwell section, I couldn't help but order one of her older patterns, but she changed the title of it just a little bit and revised it, and that's what drew my attention to it once again. Not that I hadn't seen it before, and some of you may recognize this pattern if you are Jen Kingwell lovers, as I am, by a different name. But she has changed the name, and it is called Wanderer's Wife, and it is an awesome scrappy quilt, and I will be adding that one in on my schedule to do as well. Really, really love the different style of that quilt. And then I went to Laundry Basket Quilts. Many of you are familiar with that channel and her site, Edita Sitar. Never know how to pronounce her name correctly. I get that wrong quite often. But I do have the pillow pattern that goes with this kit. I was going to do it out of my stash, and I decided, hey, I'd like to order the kit instead. So I ordered the kit that goes with that applique chicken pillow is what it is. And then I also ordered her book, Rainbow Scraps, which is an awesome book. It has 20 patterns in it. Applique and other quilting tips are included in that, and they are color wheel quilts. That gives you an idea of some of the patterns that are in this book. And I will probably be trying to do every single one in there because I love them all. Always love it when it's a book that there's just not 1 or 2 patterns that you like, but you like them all. That to me is very exciting. So that is what I got in the mail this week. And also, which I've added some pink and white flowers to this, but the yellow roses that you see in this awesome turquoise vase, that was a gift from my dear, dear friend, Debbie Williams. She brought that over as a surprise just to cheer me up. So awesome, and it has done a wonderful job on cheering me up, Debbie. So, which I was actually able to, out of combining the yellow roses, a dozen of them that she brought, and adding a few for the color that is in my cottage, I was able to, on my desk, I have another smaller one. So it is really cheerful out here. Oh, that's heavier than I thought. Cheerful out here now, but thank you, Debbie. Awesome friend, awesome gift. And I also, outside the cottage window, another friend, Rose, was very sneaky, pulled up in our driveway and just dropped off a hanging planter for Mother's Day and drove off. So she was very sneaky about that, but I have that to enjoy all summer long and have right outside the window of my cottage to look at while I'm in here. So that is everything that I have to share with you from this past week. I hope that you all have been able to be productive and inspired and get lots done in your areas as well. And if you are in reorganizing mode right now and switching things about in your sewing space, room, craft room, whatever it may be, hey, leave a comment and let me know. And don't forget, while you're watching this, hit that thumbs up, everyone. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. If you like the content that I share with you, go ahead, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. If you would like to become a member of my channel, there is that other button that says join, and you can click on that and get the information for that. I only have one level of membership. It is called the Stitching Friends, and there are lots of nice perks included in that. So check it out, become a member, and we'll get to meet each other in Zoom and everything like that. In a Facebook group, awesome times, lots of things to come and be shared in that. So thanks again, everyone. In the meantime, until I see you again, remember that I can keep you in stitches. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Bye-bye.